Okay, so before we start this new video that we just shot up at Ashurst Beacon, we want to explain something really strange that happened to us up there in the dark. So I don't know if you guys believe in portals of time, you know, time slips where you can travel through a portal into another dimension and lose time or lose contact with one another. I've never had this experience personally in the past, but on this occasion something really strange did happen to us both when we turned up at Ashurst Beacon to start the shoot, which was part cryptid, part looking out for the wild cat, which is seen lurking in different parts of Lancashire at the minute. So we parked the car up on the car park. Andy had got out and gone for a walk somewhere because he needed the toilet. I was sorting out the torches in the car, ready, and the head torches and stuff. And I shut the car doors and I looked round and I couldn't see Andy anywhere. So I had a good walk around the car park looking for him. Couldn't see him anywhere. He wasn't there as far as I could see. The car was here. The tree line was just there and there was no sign of Andy anywhere at all. So I thought, okay, maybe he's already set off into the woods and gone up to the beacon because he knew where we were headed to. So I put my head torches on, got the bag, and I set off, and I had a couple of hand torches, and I set off on the way up to Ashurst Beacon, and I got to some picnic tables and put the bags down, and I was flashing the torch round and shouting for Andy. You know, I thought he's got to be around here somewhere, he must be able to see these head torches, and there was no sign of him, no trace. So in time, I think he was missing for about 10 minutes, and we did find each other. But you'll have to hear Andy's experience separately. Now, I don't know how this happened. He didn't wander off, and neither did I. And we just seemed to... I could see the car park and the woods in the background and no people. And the same thing happened to Andy. But you're going to have to hear his side, his version of this event. And I can only put it down to some kind of weird time slip or some kind of weird portal, which I think can happen anywhere in the world at any given time. The Bermuda Triangle itself is a classic example of planes, boats going through such a portal and disappearing without trace. So it was a very weird experience. We didn't really get anything else much that night afterwards, but we did go around the woods and, you know, just check it all out, prints, things like that, any strange noises. And yeah, but you watch the video anyway and see what you all think about it.
Right, my version of the story is this. Alison was sat in the car, and she was doing a makeup, getting herself ready and everything. So I got out of the car and I'm sat there, stood outside having a smoke, and I thought I needed to answer the call of nature. Now I went and answered because there was nobody about, there was some bushes there. I went and answered the call of nature. I was about 20 seconds, and I was about from here to the camera away from the car. So did what I did. Walked back to the car, Alison's gone. No sign of her in the car, no sign of her anywhere. I thought, maybe the toilets are open. No, nothing there. So I'm looking round, this must have been about for 5 minutes, looking round the car, looking round the car park, everywhere. Couldn't see her. And next thing I see is a light in the distance. So I thought, well, I better go on up and have a look. And then I'm thinking, what if it isn't her? Because I had no idea where she'd gone. I'd not heard her walk past me, I'd not seen any torches or anything. So I walked up, Alison's there. She said, where the hell have you been? I said, I've not been anywhere. And what I can't understand is, I'm like from here to the camera away from the car. So she must have seen me. I can't believe how she didn't see me. Not only that, what I can't get is the fact that she's walked past me, behind me, within a few feet, with torches on, big boots on a gravel path, and I've not heard her. Now, I know sometimes hearing isn't that good, but you would hear somebody, you would see torches, you would know that they've gone past. But the fact that I've gone back to the car and there's been nothing there is just strange, to say the least. And it wasn't until later, after we got home, that I really thought about it, and I thought, this is just strange. So what happened, I do not know, but it's just a weird situation. And I thought, it just needs explaining. It just needs people telling us what happened that night. Also, I'd like to thank all our new subscribers, anybody who's new who suddenly finds themselves on this weird and strange channel. We like to investigate anything paranormal, UFOs, sometimes occasionally abandoned buildings, cryptoids, you know, your dogman, your black cat sightings and things like that. Anything unexplained, oh wonderful. And yeah, so join us in our quest and stay with us. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Hi, what's up guys, and welcome to Ashurst Country Park, Wigan, overlooking the Bay of Liverpool and Southport. So we have a whole wooded area behind us, and the reason we're up here is because we're following up on a black panther sighting. So we're going to take a walk through the woods with this camera and the torchlights for now, and then we're going to switch to night vision and give you guys a better view of where we are. But if we hear any growls or any strange sounds, we've already seen a couple of green eyes shining, but that was a normal house cat, a pet. It wasn't a large, no, it definitely was a small one.
Small black cat.
So we're going to head on into the woods now, and if we see or hear anything unusual, we'll stop and take a look at it. So welcome to our black cat panther search video. Alright guys, so I just want to show you the view from up here of where we are. So Liverpool is down that way, and over there the red lights I presume is Birkenhead Docks, going up here towards Southport. And we're going to head now into the woods to take a look into this forest, because there have been a couple of black cat stroke panther type sightings around these areas now. So we haven't really done black cat yet, we've just stuck with the cryptid up until now. But from what I've seen on the map, the cat seems to be more sort of Wigan side, and the cryptid stuff seems to be more Winter Hill, because all the strange cryptid sounds we've been getting have been mostly around Winter Hill regions, including last week when we just packed everything away and we heard a very strange noise at 3 AM after the fire pit, didn't we? Which didn't catch it again because we had packed everything up.
I thought it was more ape-like.
But the thing is, we packed everything up at 3, and then we heard that sound. I pulled the camera back out and put it straight back on, and we didn't get another thing.
And that's it.
It's really frustrating when you're thinking, all right, great, we can catch it now. Now, this forest has got other things springing out, like this stone owl here and stuff. Yeah, it's really, really good woodwork, that. but just be mindful that there's little things like that dotted around, so
yeah, there is,
to not mistake it for a pair of eyes, isn't it?
There's a gruffalo.
That would look like an owl to me.
Oh, me.
Alright, so anyway, we'll do the country park trail. But I think if we keep it quiet a bit, because I think if we're yapping on, they're not going to come forward anyway. So let's just take you on a little nighttime walk and then keep the noise down. Alright, so we've just put a couple of pasties out just to see if we can attract anything to come out of these woods for food. So when we come back later, we're going to check on those pasties and see if they're still here or not. Bearing in mind there are foxes, but we've put that on a table, so hopefully yeah, I don't know with foxes, they're quite agile, aren't they? But anyways, I think that's sometimes an idea to dot food around and just see if anything wants to come and take it. Should probably leave trail cams up, and then even you'd just get really, really good footage of a fox, wouldn't you, or a deer, if you didn't get anything else. So we're going to go to night vision in a bit, guys. We're just showing you how we're seeing it with the torches for now. If we see any eye shine, I hear any growls especially. So we're away from Winter Hill tonight. We're a good 10 miles away from there. We're on the, not far from the coast at Wigan, Parbold. I'm going to check it out on the map. It's Ashurst Country Park Beacon. Parbold, Wigan. So if you get any flashing lights in the background, guys, it's not orbs, it's the lights from the town. What? No, it's one of them statues. Yeah, look. But wouldn't that look, if you didn't know that was there? I mean, alright, we did the daytime walkabout, so we know that's there. But can you imagine if you didn't know that was there? Can you imagine the shock you would get if you were just roaming through here at night with the chance of... If you didn't know that was there and you were looking for Dogman or something, you'd freak out. I'd freak out and run from that.
You had your torch down. You didn't know.
But the one thing we need to look for on these things is like have they been used for scratching posts? You know, trees and things. So yeah, things like that are dotted around this forest. But let's just listen out anyway, because you might have seen it already, we've probably put it up, but when we did Devil's Bridge last week at Critter Woods, we were freaking out because we were getting voices. We was getting like women's voices and all kinds of things going on. So we've come well away from Winter Hill now tonight, partly for that reason, and partly because this has been our list for a good 6 months. But now, I think because when you've had a couple of bad experiences, you freak out in woods anyway, don't you? When you've had a couple of things happen. But this particular woods, it's just been black cat, panther type cat sightings as far as I know. Nothing else has been reported here. I don't think it's even a place for ghosts and paranormal.
No,
it's mostly just that, innit? So we thought we'd give it a whirl, because we haven't done a follow-up a black panther sighting yet or anything, but we're going to add it to our list, because although I do believe that the black panther is more of a natural creature that's just managed to survive and live here rather than a cryptid. That was me cracking the twig. That wasn't Dogman racing through the shrubs. At least I hope it wasn't. Nice forests these by daytime, aren't they? But at night they take on a whole different feeling. You know, because it's dark and your senses are on edge and everything is Like, you're looking about you all the time for stuff. It's quite scary going into a forest at night time, really, but we're so used to doing it now. We're so used to, we've been doing it for years now, so it doesn't really scare us anymore so much as, I'd say, takes us by surprise. If we see or hear anything, why don't we sit on this bench a minute and just wait it out and see if we can hear anything at all. Just gonna sit, look about the woods and see if we can see anything or hear. That's just the wind through the trees. I would honestly let you know if I thought it was anything unusual or strange. We wouldn't make it up. And if it's something else, we most definitely would share it with you that it was the wind in the trees or something else. Trees creaking. On the couple of occasions we have picked up strange sounds. It's always been when the camera's been packed away. Alright guys, so we're sitting in the pitch dark in the woods just listening out now. So I've got 2 torches on my head, that's how dark it is in these woods. And I'm wearing night vision goggles. I call them that anyways.
Night vision?
Well, yeah, no, the night vision goggles.
Tell me that.
Well, no, they're night vision. Whether they are or they're not, the John Lennon's put, they're still they're my night vision goggles. It's night time and I can see through them, therefore for me, they're night vision. Well, because I've got 2 torches on my head and it's very bright, I've put the sunglasses on to dim the torchlight from my eye. So I know it might sound ridiculous in the middle of the night, but I don't care. We already fell out once anyway, because he disappeared.
I didn't disappear.
He disappeared. We perked up.
I didn't.
I got out of one side, sorted out the bag with the torches and the cameras.
No.
And he disappeared. You disappeared.
No, do you know what it is? No, I'm being serious now. I was stood 10 metres away from the car, and obviously because my clothing is black, I've got my hat on. My hearing isn't the best of things, so I didn't hear her walk past me. If I had, I'd have said something. I honestly swear on anything. I didn't honestly hear. I thought you were still in the car because
Well, anyway, I thought he could.
So we say call of nature.
Well, the thing is, I went off into the woods looking for him.
I honestly did. And I looked back at the car, and I thought, there's some toilets there. I thought,
they won't be
I wonder
open
whether
now.
she's gone to toilets. So I went back to the car and I looked at the car. I thought, well, what the hell's gone on here?
So I got looking for you.
And then I saw a torch further up, and I thought, right, well, I better lock the car and I'll run up, because I thought, what if it isn't her?
Can we cut this story short because my arm's aching?
Alright.
Right.
Anyway.
I heard what sounded like an animal walking about, but it could be deer. Is it that tree there? That one up there is waving about a lot.
Could be.
So I think it might be that making that noise. We've got to get the camera on and check it out anyways, because you know what happened last week. Just after the fire pit, after Devil's Bridge. We just packed everything away, and then we heard these the same shrieking sounds that we've been hearing up at Tockholes. So I'm really reluctant to put the camera away now. I'm just going to whack it back on, and then any sound we hear, in case, just in the off chance. That's a car backfiring, guys. That's not paranormal. It's probably come from the car rally at Southport, hasn't it? What did we see there today? A Morris Minor police car.
That was brilliant.
Morris Minor police car.
That's great. My dad used to drive one on my back.
And an old boss, didn't we? There was a few things up and down the seafront today.
Yeah, it was, brilliant to see that. Yeah.
So we'll keep a lookout. I'm just going to do this 30 minutes or so walk in the dark through the forest. Do little stops. Then we'll go to night vision. But there are deer, and this is not paranormal mist, by the way, this is Andy's vape. I have to rule stuff out because you look back on the video and think, what's that ghostly mist coming across? And then you think, oh bollocks, it's Andy's vape. So you build yourself up thinking you've got something and then you haven't. So now I rule it out straight away and then it's done. It saves us having to look back at the footage and try and figure out what it was. Alright, should we carry on then a little bit further? So the road, it's because we're not too far from actually Wigan, Standish. I suppose you could camp out here really if you found a decent spot, couldn't you? Really, the thing is to look out for eye shine. We've got another carving down here, look. It's a little man with a beard. Now this could get confusing. It's a little man with a beard. It's a little man with a beard. A little man with a beard. Little man with a beard. Two little men with beards.
And they're both wooden.
All I'm going to say is, you was certainly shaping wooden when you disappeared. Let's not go through it again. All I know is that I was sorting the torches out and the next minute you just vanished into thin air and I had to come through this forest looking for you on my own. And then you just turned up from nowhere. I mean, if the aliens had took you and brought you back, you could at least tell me that.
The aliens took me and brought me back.
How much time did you lose though? Because it was like about 50 minutes of my time. See, I don't think that these Black Panthers are to do with UFOs and cryptids, to be honest. I think these Black Panthers are just natural. And they're just very good at hiding. Which surprises me that they come so low down into these woods at Wigan, really, because I would think they would stay up on the top of Winter Hill. But if they've been seen here, then they've been seen. Unless they come down in winter, because it's maybe warmer. Yeah, we've come a loop, haven't we? Right, so at least we know where we are, so that's an advantage. So that's a light over there from the car park. You've got to rule out stuff that's already lit up here. Do you want to go a little bit into that side of the woods? This is where we saw that guy doing a pagan blessing. Didn't we? He was going round with the sage, blessing the whole forest, and it's like, why are you doing that? Normally you would only sage something if you're getting rid of a negative or evil presence. So this guy, this isn't now, this is October last year, 6 months ago. This guy was walking through here with the sage in the middle of the afternoon, blessing the woods. I'm like, alright, fine, fair enough, do your own thing, get on with it. It's not a problem, but it's just that for us, in the world of witchcraft, it's to dispel negative energies. So is there negative energies in this forest? Or was that his purpose? So look at this, guys, they've got a serpent. A serpent carved up. They've carved it, they've probably carved that from the actual tree. Because that's the bark in it there. They've probably carved the serpent actually from the tree itself. It's pretty amazing that. But these are the things you find here in the middle of the night, so it's kind of creepy anyway, because you don't expect. It's like wood art, innit? Like carpentry and stuff. Like, there's a lot of motorbikes in the background, but I'm guessing they're coming from Southport, because there's been a lot of bikes down there today. Let's keep our eyes on the woods. You want to sit on this bench and just do a little watch and wait. See if we hear anything. Well, later we'll check them pasties and see if anything's eating them. Just film around the forest before we sit down. Do you want to sit you one way and me the other? Just to keep our eyes out, innit? Where are you sitting? Right. Okay, let's just sit and just have a listen out. See, these wildcats can travel 30 miles in a day. So even if it has been here, doesn't mean it's going to be here now. But you just got to come out to these places for an hour or so, and just on the off chance that you'll catch something. But that we heard last week, definitely wasn't a cat sound. How would you describe it, Andy, really?
I said it was more ape. It was...
When we listened to some recordings, we picked out baboon, didn't we?
Yeah, it was weird. But I said with the first time I heard it, it seemed to go into more ape-like thing than anything else. But yeah, I'm at a loss, mate. I really don't know what it is.
No, we don't. For sure we don't. And we have loaded it up as shocking noises for those people who want to hear again that sound that we picked up at Winter Hill. We've heard it a couple of times since in other regions of Winter Hill. So it's really kind of like mind-boggling to say the least. Those are leaves coming down from one of the trees. It's not paranormal orbs or anything like that. Because it's a bit blowy, some of the leaves are coming. It's really quiet, isn't it? And really still. I don't even feel like we're being watched or anything. Sometimes you get that feeling, don't you, of being watched? But I don't get that here. It just feels very calm and very still. I can see a wooden dog over there carved into that bark. I can see it. Maybe we'll just carry on a little bit more. I've got to keep stopping at different areas and listening. I mean, you never know, you could just hear a growl at any time. Like, we were walking through a woods like this near where we live, Smithers Woods. And we just stood on a stone bridge talking and we heard this almighty growl and we were like, what the heck? Where did that come from? And it was dense trees, rhododendron bushes at the back. And we've been back to that area 2 or 3 times since to have a look, and it's like... it's thick enough to hide like a cat or something, a wild cat. But then we've been back and it's got, it's not there this time, so... these things, obviously they're surviving, so they're on the prowl, they're on the move. They're not going to stay in one place. They may have a place where they live, like a den or something. But after that, they'll probably do 30 miles in a day. Just looking for food, surviving. Looking for water, hiding from people. Because we're down south, Andy, where somebody saw a dead panther in the road, and when they got in touch with the police or whoever, they came out and took it away, and it never got mentioned again. Yeah.
They were told not to mention it.
Were they?
Yeah.
So it just shows you people are finding these things and reporting it in. It's getting covered up anyway. But why would they cover it up if it's a natural animal? What is it, because people are going to be scared of them because they're black wildcats? Most of these animals are not really to be feared because, the wild, it's like that tiger we saw, the Sumatran tiger at Wellington Zoo in New Zealand. It was prowling around. It was the most beautiful thing, you could ever get close to. And it literally was just looking at you, and you didn't feel threatened in any way. And I think they only really attack if they feel under threat themselves. A lot of logs. Oh, there's a fire pit there. There's a potential for fire pit site. No, we've brought the logs, so yeah, I reckon we could do a fire pit here and just sit and listen out. You want to do that? Do you want to go back for the logs?
Yeah.
Let's go back and get some logs. Okay, so we got the fire pit going.
Oh, yes.
And we're just sitting in the woods now. We're just listening out for anything, any growls. What are you thinking, Andy, about this whole thing with the Black Panther?
I'm just curious now.
Yeah.
I'm curious because of the fact that I've heard something that I can't explain. And there's no answers. And that's what puzzles me. You're hearing things that you shouldn't be hearing. And you've no explanation to what they are. And the only thing that you can place that noise with is something that shouldn't be in that area, which is to me is just strange. It's just something that I cannot get my head round. Because like last week, and when we've thought about what it could be, and I'm thinking, how do you deal with this?
Exactly.
How do you deal with it? Because I don't know what the behaviour is, why they're there, how they're there, and is anybody going to actually believe what you've heard? That's the hardest thing, because I think us telling us what we heard and what it sounded like to us, people are going to look at you and go, have you lost the plot? But we know what we heard.
Yeah.
And that's people who know, who have an interest in this stuff, will believe you. But other people won't. And that's what the weirdest thing is, because it's just something I can't explain. I seriously can't. There's no reason for that noise to be here and what it sounded like to be living in England in the middle of this area. It's a strange one.
Alright, so for me the black cat and the cryptid are two different things entirely. The black cat, the panther, I do believe has been living here all this time, but it's just bred and multiplied over the decades, and that's why we're seeing more of it now, because there's more of them, more population. But if you think about the Sherlock Holmes story, the Beast of Bodmin Moor, you know, the Hound of the Baskervilles and all that was like 150 years ago, and they were talking about some beasts that roamed the moors of England back in those days. So is it possible that these black panther cats or hounds or whatever have been roaming around Britain for a few centuries? But perhaps if they're multiplying and breeding, that's why we're seeing them in Wigan and Bolton and Warrington and Cannock Chase and Lake District in Scotland and literally everywhere at the minute. Now, the cryptid is, I think, a totally different thing. The cryptid, I personally think, is UFO related. I do believe that they are possibly being brought from somewhere else, and then we randomly see them or hear them, and then they get taken back to whichever craft or whatever, whichever way, through a portal or whatever, where they made their way here. I think they go back the same way, because if those creatures lived here permanently, we'd be seeing them, more of them. We'd be seeing them through the day, we'd be hearing them at night, people would be freaking out more, and really the very random and short sightings, and then they're gone. So I do believe that they are being transported either via UFO or a portal of some sort, or if our scientists are crossbreeding hybrid animals and letting them out, possibly. But I do think that we'd see them a lot more if that was the case. So I keep the black cat and the panther separately as a natural animal, and the cryptid, to me the cryptid is more Winter Hill, because we've had like a couple of experiences there now, and here it's the black cat is more a natural wild cat, and I think just to watch and wait and listen for any growls and look out for any eye shine. Alright, so we just heard some branches cracking back there, but I've got a feeling it's going to be deer, because when we've camped out in the past, deer tend to come around when there's a fire pit, because they know the possibility of food. So it wouldn't surprise me if we may get some deer coming around to see what we're doing, because they've done it before, haven't they, Andy? When we've camped out in different places, they've been there checking it out for food. We've got a lovely moon up there tonight as well. It's not full, but it's nice and bright. It's just a perfect night for a camp out. So I'll just roll this camera a couple of minutes, and you can hear that snap. I think it's deer. I'm not seeing any. Well, normally with deer it's white eye shine, but I've got a feeling that it's going to be deer. just listen out anyway. It's curious animals. I think so.
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
Well, deer always know when there's a fire pit there's possibly food, so they kind of linger, don't they?
Yeah, they hang around till you've gone, and
Then they look round, because when we've camped out and cooked food before and gone to sleep in the tent, people have told us, haven't they, there were deer walking around your tent last night in Scotland, so you become accustomed to the behaviour of animals, don't you, in the night when you're out camping and stuff. When you're out like doing wild camping and fire pits, it's like you get used to the sounds and you get used to the nature of certain animals. Foxes are very stealthy.
Yeah.
They'll only come in the morning, really, at dawn, but deer, they're about all the time. I don't think deer ever sleep. You just see them all the time, don't you?
yeah, they must. I think that's where you get things are bedded down.
Maybe, yeah, like as a herd.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it looks such a big place that's bedded down and flattened. And it's probably a group of deer
Yeah.
staying together to keep warm.
So we just thought we'd whack the camera on anyway in case it's something else, but we're going to put that down as deer, and if we hear anything else strange at all, then we'll put this camera back on straight away and you can hear it. Okay guys, that's us finishing here now at Ashurst Beacon Country Park Forest. Thanks again for watching, and please like and subscribe if you're enjoying our programmes. So Andy, did you hear anything? I think you heard something then, didn't you, in the woods?
I thought it was a dog bark. You thought it
Sounded like a grunt,
something else.
and I'm not sure, it could be maybe stag. Male deers can make that kind of sound.
Yeah, I mean...
But when you're in the woods with a fire pit in the dark and you hear these noises, you do freak out a bit.
I think because of what we heard last week, it would a bit...
But what we heard last week is the same thing we've been hearing for the last 2 years at Winter Hill. We've heard it at least 3 times now. That is a totally different thing. But when you hear grunts and things, I'm thinking like maybe deer, you know, so...
Yeah, possibly, but...
It does freak you out though when it's dark.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to say goodnight now. Thank you again for watching, and thank you to our subscribers and viewers.
Oh, yes.
And look after yourselves, and we'll see you very soon on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.